Hey, Jennifer Sandwich here. Thank you for listening to another episode of Yikes, Murder, and Stuff. Our promo today is from our friends over at Murder and Such, and I wanted to give a quick shout out to Casey Locke, our first $10 Patreon patron. Thank you so much. And right after the promo, we'll start our show called A Murder in Iceland. Thank you again for listening to another episode of Yikes, Murder, and Stuff.
My name is Hunter.
And I'm Haley, and we're your hosts of
Murder and Such, a podcast about true crime, serial killers, and other dark subject matter. Join us while we fill your ear holes with some crappy comedy and disgusting tales.
You can now find us on Spotify,
iTunes,
Stitcher,
Podbean,
and all of your podcatcher services. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, and follow us on Twitter.
at Murder and Such.
Hope to hear from you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
In case you can't tell by the name, Yikes, Murder, and Stuff contains themes that are not suited for children. It's also no good for the workplace and probably not your Mima and your Papa either. We're going to talk about some grim subject matter, probably make uncomfortable jokes, and we're definitely going to be cursing. But if that's something you're into, then put your headphones on and hop in our nondescript windowless van and come see the puppies. Somebody got murdered in Iceland.
So?
Oh, why the fuck would you say so?
Well, I don't know. I'm waiting for... I thought you were going to hit me with something like fantastic. Somebody was found hanging on a cross upside down.
Yeah, like Hannibal.
Yeah.
Ah, wow, but wait. This is Iceland. Guess how many murders they had last year in Iceland? Lisa.
500 to 600.
Acadia.
40,000.
You're both wrong. They had 4 murders.
Jeez.
Huh.
What?
Well, see,
1,
then
2, 3, 4.
I was the most wrong, therefore I win.
Now, do you think that was low or high for Iceland?
I'm going to guess they had a good year.
Okay,
Yeah.
Acadia?
I'm going to say low, because I got burned the first time.
Okay, well, it was the worst year that they've ever had for murders ever.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
So that is 4 murders in the entire country for the whole year is the most that they've ever had, because the average for murders in the country since they started keeping track is 1.6 per year.
Jeez, what are we doing wrong?
Well, Iceland is small. They have 300,000 or 350,000 people, I believe, currently in Iceland, and it's very safe. Everybody knows each other. It's a small country. It's very spread out. The biggest city is Reykjavik. It's also Iceland's capital, and the largest city.
I often wondered if everybody's like a cousin.
Oh, they're fucking inbred as shit.
Yeah, they
kinda...
I mean, they're looking for population for sure.
Mm-hmm,
So.
Mm-hmm.
The most violence that this country sees are earthquakes and volcanoes, because the whole island is basically a massive volcano, but that contributes to its beauty, this lush green, rugged landscape that
Looks
you
like
see.
the moon.
Well, yeah, I was going to say there's another part that's like the moon, like walking on moon rocks.
That's actually where they tested the car that they built to drive on the moon. They tested it.
I see. That totally makes sense.
Didn't they do the Mars rover?
Yeah,
testing
the lunar
there
rover
too?
too. Back in the Apollo missions, they were
Okay,
like, "What
yeah.
looks most like the moon?" And Iceland was like, "Hello."
Yeah,
Well,
it's basically half Iceland. Yeah.
Right. So it's an extremely peaceful country and community, considering all the violence going on under their feet. They all these, every volcanoes bring life too. So it's as life creating as it is destructive.
Yeah, they don't have any historic sites really to speak of, like not like the rest of Europe, because it's technically a European country, because everything got like dumped into a crevasse or covered by a glacier or some shit. So that really the only historically significant thing they have is the house where the Gorbachev and Reagan met in that summit.
Oh yeah, I went there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's like it. That's it. That's their one thing.
And they have a
Oh
couple
my God.
pieces of artwork, but there's nothing like from 1052 or anything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because it all got
wow, I
burnt
didn't know
and
that.
buried.
Well, it all got, what is that place in Italy? It all got,
Pompeii.
it all got Pompeii.
Yeah, because it's basically a whole island of Vesuvius there.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
they have these long days and long nights.
It's very strange because I've been to Iceland 4 times.
Yeah.
And one of the tours I took, we did the Ring Road.
Yep.
I was there when it was mainly daytime. You're sitting at this national forest or national park, and there's this huge waterfall, and you're kind of like walking around, and you're like, God, I could use some coffee. Maybe it's just a little early yet. And you kind of look at your clock, and it's like 10 p.m. And you're just like, what
You're like,
the
I'm
hell?
tired.
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
I've been running around all day and it's still daylight.
It's really strange to have no concept of time. Like, remember when we went to Belize, you have a huge concept of time because the sun
12
comes...
hours a day, 12 hours a night. You know exactly when to go to bed
what's
and
happening.
exactly when to get up. Yeah.
Nope, but this is like willy-nilly. Shops are open very late at night. People are getting ice cream at 12:30 p.m.
AM, you mean?
or a.m.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, see, it is confusing. Look how
It is.
confusing it is.
It's so confusing.
It's a very safe community.
Mm-hmm.
You should look at the police on Instagram.
Oh, that's a must.
Yes, you ladies and gentlemen, please go to the Instagram and look up Iceland police because
Please
it's
do.
just, if you want to have a good day, just go there. I mean, this is how I wish police were like this everywhere.
They hold kitties and feed dogs.
Oh my God. Kitty holding policeman. Give me a call sometime whenever you want.
Ice cream eating policeman, email me.
Oh God. Oh yeah. It looks like paradise, literally. So,
They look like they're cool to hang out with.
well, Lisa's been there 4 times. It is Lisa's favorite cold weather place.
Cold weather place. Belize
Yeah.
being my favorite warm weather.
Mine too, because I went there
We've
with
been
you.
there
Thank
together.
you. Thank you so much. Can't wait to travel with you again. Katia has been to Iceland a lot of times also.
Yeah.
Work-related Iceland experiences.
Yeah, my boss married somebody from Iceland, and it was the travel business, and so he bought Hertz Iceland. So I don't know why.
Whoa.
And then
Wooey wow wow.
yeah, I mean, but you can imagine how busy fucking Hertz Iceland was. So,
Oh, yeah.
but I had to go a
It's
bunch
like
of
3
times.
months out of the year.
Yeah, exactly. I had to go a bunch of times, and I ate that fermented shark stuff because I wanted to make a good impression. So technically, I've eaten the grossest thing on the planet because all those like Food Network shows that talk about weird foods, they all say that was the worst thing they ever ate, and I ate it the first time I went because I didn't know any better.
Ugh.
Is it worse than lutefisk?
I'm not eating lutefisk because
You've had the shark
it
one.
sounds like a fucking Wisconsin version of a wrapper, and I'm not eating it, but I know that rotten shark that they buried in the ground and then dug back up so you can eat it is not yummy.
Yeah, see,
Agreed.
I have the opposite thinking of you. I want to try the shark because I know what lutefisk tastes like.
Right,
No
right.
way.
Yeah, I'm good.
They love that white jellyfish.
Yuck. So we're going to tell you about the first murder that happened in 2017, and that victim's name was Bjørna Bjørnsdottir.
You're getting
Nice
better.
work.
I am so sorry.
Clap, 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 clap.
I'm gonna try so hard. Katia, can you tell us about why the names are the way they are?
Because there's so few people in Iceland that there's no stigma on being an unwed mother. So instead of, your last name being, Blorfo or whatever the fuck it is, the phone book goes by first names. So in your instance, you would be, your first name would still be Jennifer, but if your father's name was Tom, you could be Jennifer Tom's daughter, or if you preferred and your mother's name was Sandra, you could be Jennifer Sandra's daughter. You get to pick, and you
That's
can
so
change
awesome.
it because it doesn't matter. So the only time, if you see an Icelandic woman whose last name ends in son, then the odds are that they emigrated and had to consolidate their family name into one surname.
Well, they may be heading for transition.
Yes. So that's why that is.
I mean, it's very gender fluid, which that's a plus.
Pick whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, I could actually go to Iceland and I could actually be Jennifer Sandwich if I wanted to be.
Well,
or do I have to be Sandwich Daughter?
If one of your parents' name was Sandwich, then yes.
Okay, so it has that. Okay, so
it's like
there are some loose rules. But...
Jennifer Sandwich Daughter.
If you think about it, like Thompson, Robertson, like a whole bunch of our surnames are Nordic like that because that's all they people didn't fucking... All they did was, I'm going to just say you're the son of whoever your father was or what you did for a job.
Exactly, yes. So Smith's son, for instance, is, Smith's son. This is a murder that would just about be a blip on the radar in the U.S. Every VIP in the country showed up for her funeral. It was so completely unexpected that there was a headline that read, "The murder that changed Iceland forever." And it really did.
This is where the weird part comes in because, like, in New York, if this happened in New York, which crazy thing, New York actually had a murderless weekend. It made the paper and made the Facebook, made everything.
Yeah.
But if this happened in New York, this wouldn't probably even get into the paper.
Yeah, that's right. It's a rarity in itself with murders because there's so many murders in the United States that it is just a blip on the radar, even in the rarest of circumstances. This happened on Friday the 13th of 2017. Björna goes clubbing with her friends in Reykjavik. She goes out to the Hurrah Bar. And now, during this time of the year, it's dark. All night long. So all day long, all day strong, all night long. It's dark. Yeah. So yeah, it's dark all night long anyways, but you're hanging out till 5 a.m., right?
One of the coolest parts about it is that they get super dressed up to go out, like so much effort. Men and women. They're wearing like $800 suits and it looks like a fucking Oscar party. Every bar looks like that, and they stay out till like 5 a.m. They just rage.
They don't go out till later. Like it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock before they even hit the bar. And another thing is I went to a club while I was there, and you know me, jeans and a sweatshirt, jeans and a hoodie. And I walk in and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta leave. Like I was just like, I can't be here. It's embarrassing. Like
I look like a barback. I gotta go.
Yeah. Well, I look like a homeless person. First of all, Icelandic people are just gorgeous.
Yep.
Like, just gorgeous.
Yes.
And then they look beautiful in clothes.
No
you
doubt.
know what I mean? And there's...
They look beautiful out of them, too.
I know. They're just like, oh. And then I come strolling on in, 5'5", with a hoodie on and holy jeans and, greasy hair. And they're like...
People are trying to catch you for good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Where's her gold?
Look at her. She'll grant you a wish.
Only if you pay the trolls toll. I'll give you some money.
So she goes out to the Hurrah Bar. And she's out till 5 o'clock at night because of the long nights. So you sleep whenever. Everything stays open super late. So, and she starts to walk home alone down this Reykjavik's main road, Lagavigur.
You're getting so good at these.
All right, thank you so much. Sorry, Iceland, please let me inside of you and don't judge me. It's not abnormal to walk home. This is not some sort of rare circumstance where it's just like, oh, I'm going to have some drinks and just walk home alone. That people do this all the time. It's a huge, safe community. Well, she's spotted on several CCTV cameras, there's one every block down this road. And they see her walking from the Hurrah Bar, maybe working her way to the bus depot or something kind of in that direction. But they also catch her later walking past a bar called the Lebowski Bar. It is
the Big Lebowski.
I've looked this up. We should go there. It's
the
actually
dude.
based on the movie, so
cool.
It is pretty cool looking. So she is visibly impaired. And when you look at this camera, you can tell that she is just very, very intoxicated. She is dropping something on the ground, coins or money or something. Kronas, yeah. She's bumping into people. She's eating a kebab. A kebab?
That's kind of common. They do that in England. They go for curries.
God, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I need that in my life. I would love to have a kebab.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
At 3 a.m.
Step it up, restaurateurs.
Yeah, why did we do White Castle? How trashy is that?
You know what I mean? No, you do. You do White Castle.
I know more.
Ease up.
All right.
That's a national treasure.
So the freaky part of the story is that she passes the Lebowski bar and she's stumbling around, dropping pennies, bumping into people, eating kebab. She's a block down from the direction she's walking, and that next camera, she's gone.
This part freaks me out the most.
She's nowhere to be found.
That's the part that freaks me out the most.
Yeah.
I can't, there's something about seeing somebody, they're walking, whatever, they're just going about their day. They don't even realize. And then there's, on the next camera, you just know, in that, you have the time, everything.
The timestamps, everything.
To know that they're going to have, their next whatever hours are going to be ingrained as the worst of their whole life.
The most terrifying of,
Oh my God, I can't, it just freaks me out so bad.
But why wouldn't the cameras overlap? That seems like shitty planning.
Yeah, they didn't have them. I guess in Iceland, what I had been reading is that people, because it's so safe, they're like, stop treading on me, government. You know, like, we
Stop
don't
looking at me.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I'm just going to
my
hang around
business.
in the mystery zone between the cameras and fuck
Yeah.
all you guys.
Yeah.
I get resentful if I'm sitting at a stoplight and I see that camera at the light. You know, I lived in Florida. They'd have these cameras that would take pictures of you at lights in case somebody, you know, and I would just get livid. I'm like, this is an invasion of my privacy, you know, and I feel that. Like, I don't want to be watched everywhere I go, you know?
And I think because the country was so safe, they were even more about that, you know, because what's the point?
Right. So so they got to the point where they could put one on every corner. Maybe there's a small area where it didn't overlap, and then, you know, they got their cameras and the people weren't that upset, but there was only one on each block. And they just so happened in those few seconds.
Oh, and then like
in that one blind spot.
Yeah.
Within a meter. Yeah. She's gone.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Plus, Americans don't understand what a meter is. So what is that in like feet?
It's a little
like
more than a yard.
3 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually look at it about a little more than 3 feet. Yeah.
Because we're so dumb.
Hey, we don't want no foreign ruler.
No, that's true.
Baroness disappeared. She didn't show up for work on Saturday morning. A friend of hers who worked with her called the friend that went out with Birna the night before. She said, I don't know where she's at. And then she says, all right, well, this is weird. She calls Birna's mother and father, who were not living together at the time, and said, do you know where she is? Don't know where she's at. Neither one of us know. She's not here. Well, the mother finds out immediately and calls police, like right away, and said, please go look for my daughter. And she posted on social media, and that's kind of where things begin. But the investigation on the police end didn't really start in earnest until about 36 hours after her disappearance. Because it's safe.
Yeah,
safe in Iceland.
Could have hooked up with a dude and was at his house.
That's right. And, you know, here's another thing.
One of the hot cops with the ice cream.
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, I would have been making phone calls about that, telling everybody, guess what?
Guess what I did?
Check this out. I got pictures.
Straight on Twitter.
It's not just safe. The 1.6 murders that normally happen, they're drug related or they're domestic. Nobody would even think. It never even crossed their mind that somebody could have possibly scooped her up.
Yeah, it's not like kidnap, stranger kidnap.
That's right.
And it's not like serial kidnap, or serial freak out.
Nothing like this had ever happened before. The police had no idea. Mm-hmm. Mom calls again on Sunday. The fuck, police. Mom calls again on Monday. Get the fuck up off your chairs, dump the ice cream, put the kitty down, and get your hot ass out on the street and look for my fucking daughter.
Yep.
The police are like, all right, this is really weird. Monday
Plus,
morning.
we've got literally nothing else to do. So
There's
why
nothing
not?
else to do anyways. You'd think they would just jump right on it and be like, oh, excitement.
I'll just put this puffin with the broken leg down, and I'll go take care of this now.
Right? The missing dog on the beach they found. Oh, check the Instagram. Really, there's not a lot that goes on there. They immediately get serious about it. First thing Monday morning, the mom calls and they're like, all right, let's get on the case, everybody. It's been 3 days almost, but they start checking the CCTV cameras, and they immediately see an impaired Björna where she's last seen, walking away from
Dropping
the Lebowski.
pennies. Dropping
Right.
pennies, picking up coins.
That's right.
Kronas, sorry.
This is, we have links to the videos in our sources in our show notes on the website, so you can go there and see her, and it's clear she's fucked up, just like we would be. We've done this before.
Oh,
traveling.
I've done this in more crime-ridden cities
Oh,
across America.
dude, Belize City. I gotta get smokes and at night. Yeah. Desperation, man. And you know what? I pulled it off. I saved the day.
That nicotine runs strong.
Doesn't it though? Yeah. So they see immediately that she's not on that next CCTV camera. But what they do see is a red Kia Rio on the next block driving in the direction towards Björna right before she's gone missing from the other camera. Y'all read me? Y'all got me? Okay.
I wonder what happened.
Right. Well, guess what? They couldn't fucking see the license plate.
That's the suck part.
Right. Björna's never seen alive again after this incident. So the cops get info from Björna's phone.
She was only like 22, wasn't she?
And she's 20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure what the drinking age in Iceland is, but I think it might be 18. But
Do you know,
she was.
Acadia? I don't remember.
Oh,
I never asked.
I'm assuming it's 18 because
I'm assuming it's
most Euro countries it is.
Maybe even 16.
Yeah. Well, the cops, and Iceland's a little different from the U.S. They don't have to call and get a warrant and all this. I mean, maybe they did, and it was just that fast because it's such a small country. But they got information from Björna's phone. And what they got was, and this is all Monday morning, they got that her phone either ran out of power or was turned off at 5:50 a.m. Saturday.
Sons of bitches.
This is the morning after, right? Yeah. The last ping was near this place near Reykjavik called Hafnarfjordur. Hafnarfjordur Harbor.
Hafnarfjordur
Harbor.
Harbor.
Don't, Iceland, please let us inside you.
Just say Oak Harbor or some harbor.
Yeah, well...
There's not somebody following around with Google Maps, so don't worry about it.
Just channel the chef from the Muppets.
Well, it's like 20 minutes away. So for that. So then after that, the phone is just completely unresponsive after that last ping near that harbor. Mm-hmm. That's important. So they get together with the mother and they have this press conference. Super rare. They don't do this. It's not something that they've ever done. And they send this, press conference out to Iceland, asking the public for help. Can you identify the driver of this red car? She was on Tinder and its social media accounts. Have you had any kind of encounter with her? Please let us know.
Real quick. I just wonder how they did this. Do they YouTube how to hold a press conference and they watch the rest of the world do they?
Yeah, how would they know? Yeah.
They don't have to. They don't do this, so they're on Google going, And the policemen are like, like, how do you throw a
Yeah,
press conference?
they're
for a
like
missing
rusting
girl?
out some old like flipping papers through a standard operating procedures of press conference. Ah, here it is. Yeah,
They're
so-
watching episodes of Criminal Mind. They're like, we have to make the mother say these things to
Yeah.
make her more personal to the public. And
So they have this they have this group of people who go out and do searches apparently for like people who get like a lot of hikers and tourists, I guess, can get injured and hurt because they don't pay attention to the rules and whatever. So they have this search and rescue team called ISAR.
ooh, fancy.
Yeah, it's the Icelandic Association for Search and Rescue.
I feel like ISAR has a lot of spare time.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all. Yeah,
Or else they're very busy because the idiot's falling into volcanoes.
Right.
Falling
That's
into
also very
the
possible.
crevasses.
Yeah, that's the bulk of their time. They don't actually go, or somebody's drowned swimming in the cold
Some
sea or something.
diabetic American fell into the volcano.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, hey Sven, son, I gotta go dig some fat American asshole out of this crevasse
Oh man.
because he didn't put on his crimp-on shoes.
So, but this is not something they normally do, but they have this whole team to do it. So that they call these guys in to come out and help.
I bet they're hot too.
I bet they are. They've got to be. There's
Damn
there's nobody in Iceland who would be perceived as not hot. Yep. So, well, Monday night rolls around. This is Monday morning is when they start this whole. They just instantly launch it. Everything just explodes in searching for this woman. Well, Monday night, these two brothers in their 20s, not part of the ISAR, goes to look for her in Hafnarfjordur Harbor, and they are looking along this fence line that's by the sea, and they found, because this is where her phone had last pinged, and they found her black Doc Martens.
Not a good sign.
Found her shoes.
Yeah.
Now, this is not suspicious behavior on the part of these two. In the U.S., these guys would have been arrested and interrogated until they probably confessed to the murder or something,
You can hear the cops like hit the table like, are you trying to insert yourself into your own investigation?
Right. But there's such a huge sense of community here that it's just everybody was out looking for them,
Well,
whether you were a
Bjorn is
member
probably
of...
their cousin.
Right.
You know, on
who
some weird
knows?
level.
Yeah, they know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows her and related. Of course, it's
that
a
whole island's
small
related.
community. Yeah. Now they found the boots, so a huge, intensive search and rescue begins in Iceland. It's the largest in Iceland's history.
Mm-hmm.
They've got divers out searching in the water. They got drones flying around. Maybe they didn't use the drones so much.
I was going to say that's pretty high tech for...
They were at the ready, though. They do nothing but just train and eat ice cream and, and hold kitties,
And hold kitties. Maybe they're just kind of effing around with the drones. Like, let's see if we can get real close to that seal.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll target goals for their training exercises. They start looking at the CCTV cameras from the docks at the harbor, and they see a red Kia Rio entering the harbor at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning, 10 minutes after Björna's phone was shut off or ran out of juice.
Okay, so basically the puzzle's made. It's done.
All
This
right.
guy basically just sent them, this is how you find me. I'm an idiot.
She's last seen at 5 a.m. 5:50, her phone gets shut off and pings at the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 a.m., a car is seen entering the harbor Saturday morning. Now, here's the...
Do you mean
That's
that they
where
just
boots
drove
are-
the car into the water?
No. There's more.
Well, then entering the harbor is very misleading.
Okay, so they enter the harbor area. So-
Like a
okay.
parking lot near a boat.
So,
Roger.
yeah, so there's a driveway into this harbor area where all these boats are docked. They pull alongside a boat called the Polar Nanook. Nanook? Nanoq? It's a fishing trawler.
this is all on camera. This is 6 a.m.
Oh, these guys are just...
A man gets out of the passenger side of the car and, like, stumbles onto the ship, takes a piss, stumbles, and, like, really fucking drunk. And then the car turns around, drives back out. So this all happened at 6 a.m. Car pulls up, guy stumbles out, car drives off. This time,
and her phone goes dead at 5:50, and then right in that harbor, and they go pulling in, and some guy gets out, pees, and then the car drives off. Yeah,
right.
I wonder what. Oh, jeez, God, this is cakewalk to solve this. You know what I mean?
Because this time, they got the license plate number.
Yeah,
it's a rental car. So
and probably bought with a credit card with somebody's name on it, and
well, lo and behold,
probably a gold member.
Right. Hurts, maybe?
Yeah. Oh.
The car is rented and registered to a young man by the name of Thomas Muller Olsen, Olsen, on Friday. Friday afternoon, he rented the car. Thomas is a part of the crew on the Polar Nanook. Thomas had returned the car by lunchtime on Saturday. At lunchtime was... you said that when you returned the car in Iceland, Lisa, it was like noon, right?
Typically, because the flights, there's only a few flights that take out of Reykjavik, and they're pretty much in early afternoon. So they have it set up pretty slick. You leave the hotel by 11, your car gets returned by 12, and you're on the flight by like 2.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, for everybody thinking of going to Iceland, they have a marvelous thing where if you go on Iceland Air, and you decide to go somewhere in continental Europe, like, France or some shit like that, you can stay over in Iceland without any fee added to the ticket.
See, I did that when I went to Ireland. One of the times I went to Iceland, I did a 3-day stopover in Iceland. Best choice I've ever made. I loved it.
That's their thing.
Yeah.
Can I go to their... I want to do that.
Okay, we can do that. They have Iceland Air. I mean, because they have their own oil source, their flights are cheap.
Okay.
They have a hub here in Minnesota.
Oh, I'm down. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I want to go so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. All right. Well.
Why are we selling Icelandic Air right now?
Yeah, everybody go to Iceland. Maybe they want to give us a free ticket just to,
Iceland Air. I would love to get on your plane in first
Brand
class.
placement.
Yeah,
Are you listening, Iceland Air? We can do this
they
all
go
day.
They go from Minneapolis because there's so
we have
many
a hub here.
squareheads there.
Yeah,
Hey, whoa. Settle down there, Maine.
I'm just saying.
Oh.
I watched Grumpy Old Men. I know how to insult Swedes.
Well, also, we're not afraid of the cold, so boom.
That's right.
Well, it's most of us.
We're not the stupid Americans falling in the crevasses.
Speak for yourself.
That's right.
Well, the car had gotten rented out again to a family on Saturday. The police had tracked down the car and the family in it, and the son, it was sitting in the back seat, was like, smells like bleach in here.
And death.
Yeah, so there's obviously we're on the right track.
Something's amiss.
They're doing great for not having any police experience really at all. They're doing great. So
well,
the
if
police...
a cat went missing, they might know what to do.
Oh God! So they actually found traces of blood on the back seat.
Huh.
So of course, immediately the police began looking for Thomas Muller Olsen, and the drunk man that was seen getting out of the car. His name,
the dock.
Yeah, at the dock. Yeah, his name was Nikolaj Olsen. Not related.
A lot of Olsons.
A lot of Olsons. Just keep in mind, they're not related. Maybe they are a little bit. Who knows?
They are.
But,
Yeah, I was going to say. They're from, what is it? They're from Greenland?
Greenland,
Yeah, they're probably related somehow.
So, well, Tuesday, this is the next day on, the Polar Nanook was fishing off of Greenland, and neither Thomas nor Nicholas had seemed out of sorts at all.
Yeah. I'd be hungover as balls.
Right. But it's like, they're just going around their day, just business as usual.
Huh. I'd be seasick and hungover with a lot of vomiting going on.
Oh, God. I mean, they had to be young, those young livers, man. I don't know.
Processing. Well,
in the meantime, the police are like looking for these people with this car. They've already apparently told the whole public that this is the guy we're looking for. If you see him, blah blah blah. Then he gets a message on Facebook from a reporter. Thomas does.
Okay.
Asking about the Kia Rio. He fucking freaks. He's like, oh fuck, they're onto me. And he goes and he shows the message to the captain of the ship.
Gee,
what?
Everybody's so stupid.
Oh man,
these are the stupidest murderers. Like,
oh god, it just, why would you say anything?
Yeah.
But the captain is like, well, if you didn't do it, then don't worry about it, right? If you're guilty, if you're innocent, then you got nothing to worry about. Here's some sedatives.
Go take a nap.
Here's some Valium. Go chill. Just settle down. Because is that normal? You just give your...
I've never even heard of like your boss giving you sleeping sedatives.
Yeah, so he gives them some sort of sedative pill, and
that's how they must not sue companies very much if things happen to them while they're at work.
I don't know if there's
like in
Valium...
America, if you took some sedatives and you felt like a stomach ache, you would like sue the corporation.
Right. They're so litigious here.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I will tell you, if there was Valium in my emergency kit at work, it would have been gone after the first 6 months of me working there. That's for sure. So
if that was part of my bennies for having a job, sign me up. Like, give me my sedatives.
I got my lauded.
My lauded.
So meanwhile, the police are planning to get these men off of this ship without letting anyone on the ship know what's going on. Mm-hmm. So then the captain, he's going to make his own move. Because he's suspicious of Thomas now. He's like,
Captain Spencer Norden is on the case.
Yep, on the case. So he's going to turn the boat around and head back to Iceland. He turns the Wi-Fi off on the ship, and he tells the entire crew. Oh, yeah. He says, okay, crew, we're heading back to Iceland. We've got an engine repair, so I guess he's, faking an engine problem, and they're going to slowly trudge back to Iceland?
See, now, if I had murdered somebody, let's say, and then all of a sudden, I go to get on my Wi-Fi, I'm like, Wi-Fi down. I'd be like, what? And then they're, turning around to go back to where I committed the crime. I would jump off the ship. I'd already know what's happening.
It's some pretty cold water, though. You definitely would probably die at that point. But...
I would pull a Luke Skywalker with the tauntaun, cut open some sort of whale, and get in its tummy and stay warm.
I feel like if I had murdered someone, I don't think my method of escape would be basically a prison. Because as soon as it gets far enough out into the water, you literally can't get off of it.
Oh, he's on jail. Yeah, he's in jail already.
It's over for him. He knows it.
Plus he's on sedatives, so he's feeling pretty cool at this point.
As long as he keeps them all sedated and doped up, everything's gonna be fine.
Maybe to save money, we should take old Navy ships that aren't, good enough to fight in wars anymore.
About to sink.
Make them prisons. Then we don't have to have land prisons.
I'm sure the Clintons are on that idea as we speak.
You don't need as many guards, because where the fuck are they going to go?
Oh, that's true. Just set them out to sea and let them drift away. That's that's a little cruel and unusual, but the police make the decision that it's too dangerous to let the captain slowly make his way back to Iceland. Mm-hmm. So, tell us, Lisa, about what happens next.
Oh, well, the police send out this team of probably more hot cops called the Vikingsgasveiten, which means Viking Squad.
Yes,
Send them out. They swoop in with a helicopter. There's 6 guys. They rappel down to the boat in horrible bad weather. I hear them yelling Odin as they slide down the ropes, with Thor's hammer,
it's so dramatic.
It just is.
Iceland people that seem just so stoic, and it's all
Viking Squad.
The Viking squad is here.
Viking squad. Like, I don't know. Like, I just picture Ragnar from the Vikings show on history. Yeah.
Yeah.
All those braids flying around in the
Okey-doke.
wind. And
Come cuff me. I'm ready to go. Oh, man. So Thomas Olsen and Nicholas Olsen, not related, probably are, were arrested.
Yep.
But they got him. Wednesday, the next day, the rumors began. People in Iceland are saying it's a sex trafficking ring. Birna's still alive. There are other girls on board. None of it was true.
Yeah. They're watching too many American true crime movies.
Or secretly wishing that their country was not so boring.
Oh, right.
Or that. Yep, that
There's
too.
that.
There's that.
Well, they did. What they did is they reached out to other countries that kind of who had more technology and resources in dealing with situations like this, and they had DNA tests done of the Kia Rio and checked other CCTV cameras, and they found Birna's blood tested in the back seat. Is there a better way I can say that?
No.
Her DNA was tested, was found in the back seat. So there's a little blood splatter, and they also discovered that the car had been Cloroxed.
I think the whatever tourist pretty much had figured that out.
Yeah, for sure. That kid knew. The kid knew. I was like, don't
He was probably like 6.
like being in this car so much. Yeah, don't feel good about this.
Yeah.
But when they checked the CCTV cameras, they saw that at 6 a.m., Thomas is seen driving to the end of the harbor and then entering the back of the car. He's on camera, driving away from the ship after dropping his friend off, parking kind of near the end of the harbor and getting out of the car and getting into the back seat. At 7 a.m., he's seen on camera leaving the harbor. His cell phone is turned off at this point for 4 fucking hours.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah. The next time his car is seen on camera again is 11 a.m. driving back into port. He's captured on CCTV at a supermarket buying fucking Ajax. He's buying clothes, and he's buying plastic bags. Now, Ajax, for anybody who doesn't know, is a sink cleaner. So it could be described as Clorox or chemical smell.
It's also a type of computer code.
You can't code blood out of a back seat.
I don't know why he didn't just drive the car into a fucking geyser.
Right?
Like they're all over the place.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, and then you could be like, oops, I didn't mean to. Thank God I got the car insurance.
Well, this is why I'm thinking that none of this was really planned, because he
An idiot.
used his real name, so it's not like it was a premeditated thing, but it was kind of an on-the-spot, we're on shore leave, let's get laid kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, well, there's another camera that sees him again cleaning out the inside of the car before returning it at noon.
He should have thought of everything he wanted to do and done the opposite.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, Jesus. Well, and let's not forget, he was loaded. He was drunk as fuck. They were all so drunk. And he later says, that he was cleaning out vomit, But the police had said they had used luminol after seeing this, and it just, quote, lit up.
Yeah.
An officer had testified that it lit up. So Thomas and Nikolaj were taken into custody on Wednesday when the boat got back. And here's what the police found. They found the fucking huge grip of drugs on the boat. 23 kilograms of hash.
I don't even know. Again, kilograms.
That is about 50 pounds.
That is a lot. That is a lot of hash.
Holy balls.
That's almost, if they had flown, they would have had to pay extra for the bag.
Yeah. Excess baggage charges.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
But what do you...
That guy's...
I'm so confused and angered.
You're really flabbergasted.
Yeah,
by
you're
this.
like...
So mad. She died for no fucking reason. It just pisses me off.
Yeah.
But they found her driver's license on in a trash can on the boat.
Ugh.
You want to know what's worse than that? Is that they found his fingerprints. Thomas's fingerprints were on her driver's license.
God, this guy.
Wow, this is murder and stuff. We're not about mysteries.
Oh, God, no.
We're really
Don't worry,
about
we got it solved.
We're going to crack this fucking case. Dun, dun.
Jesus Christ, this is literally like the most cut and driest case I've ever heard of. And that's why it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like, well...
They just rolled up on the police station with the body in the car going, help!
Look what I just did.
I know. It's
I'm
like,
wasted.
Yeah, he had it like written on his forehead. Yep, it was me.
Christ.
Yeah, well, yeah, he kind of rolls up to the police station, like you said, with the body in the car, and he's just like, and by the way, I got like 50 pounds of hash on the
Here's
boat.
some weed.
Yeah.
If I give you this body, can I keep my hash?
I'm expecting a lot of money for that. So...
Oh, they found his DNA on her shoelaces from her
Jesus
boots.
Christ, God.
Yeah, he took her boots off. I mean, she must have been pretty incapacitated. It just, after his arrest, the doctor, they did like a physical on him and everything. They found scratches on his chest.
Okay, well,
She fought back.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
He just,
So.
I'm flabbergasted because I don't even know what to say about how this is literally just written. Like, it's just like,
Play it out.
Well, I think we've just figured out why the murder rate in Iceland is so low, because they're all fucking idiots and they can't commit any kind of crime because they know they're going to get caught.
Yeah, well, these guys aren't even from Iceland. So how about that? Just a couple of dudes on shore leave, basically.
Maybe it rubbed off on them. That's true.
I think they're from Greenland.
Yeah.
Apparently, the people of Greenland are a little dull in the brain.
These two, definitely.
For sure.
All right. So now I have questions, because this is not like we said before, this is not so much a mystery as these fuckers did it.
Right.
So now I want to know, like, why they did it. Like, what did we find out why? Were they just, hey, we're drunk, let's rape and kill someone?
Well, there's a lot of questions around this.
I think what it is this is not a planned out murder. They went out on the town. Everybody's getting wasted. I mean, Nicolaj had won some sort of game at a English pub where he won like 8 beers, and they were like, he drank like 7 of them, and so he's lit.
He's hammered.
Yeah, and then his friend shows up.
No
Thomas
doubt.
shows up, gets lit with him. They're seen doing shots. They're bar hopping. They've got a rental car. These are 2 Greenland boys on a night on the town. Let's get laid, I bet is what's going through their mind.
They're shore leave. They're a couple of Navy guys on shore leave, basically,
So they get hammered, then obviously they must have seen her during the blackout zone with the closed circuit stuff.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering is, like, did they see her, like, earlier in the night and kind of, like,
could have. You know
peg
what I
her
mean?
Yeah,
and be
sure.
like, that one,
Because it comes down to, she obviously got in the car, so did they grab
she?
her or did she get in? She had to. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, did they ever say?
Well, there's kind of like 2 schools of thought on this one. I mean, it's like one school of thought is that, there's even YouTubes out there that say they rohypnoled her and like had a plan to grab her, but they had seen her throughout the night. Or there's this other kind of school of thought that I don't think they grabbed her off the street. I bet they pulled up and were like, hey, you want us to give you a ride home? Because Iceland's the safest spot in the world. Why wouldn't you get in a car with a stranger? I wouldn't do it in New York.
If you see that video of her, she was so messed up that, at that point, all the judgment is out the window anyways,
I would definitely assume that she would be super trusting just because it's Iceland.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
If you don't have that mate. So, but whether she did or not, obviously, whatever they did from that point.
We're not victim blaming her. We're saying that
No,
their culture is that they are very trusting people because they have nothing to be afraid of.
It would be completely normal.
Yeah.
And honestly, 20-year-old me, I was in that state, I would probably be like, fuck it.
Yeah,
I would do that in more dangerous cities.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm an idiot. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten in people's car before after going to a bar or whatever. And just let's go to your after party. And
people don't really
we've done this.
I mean, cabs there are kind of unreliable because they're scammers. You know, the Europeans tend to rely heavily on public transportation. They kind of guess that she's kind of walking to the bus station to catch the bus.
Sure.
It wouldn't be odd for someone to say, I'll give you a ride home, no big deal. You know, whatever.
Yeah,
Yep.
or a ride to the bus station or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably just got in.
Yeah.
Or, maybe she was just so messed up that she tripped and fell on the ground and they just
Helped her up
pulled
and
over
said-
and put her in the car and, hey, we'll drive you wherever you need to go, or don't say anything and just drive off. She's fucked up.
Yeah. She might have even passed out in the back seat, and all of a sudden she wakes up in Harbor, and now there's a problem.
Right.
And now you've got to solve that problem. And unfortunately, the way a lot of people some people solve problems is by killing some folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So then it comes down to they fucking raped her and killed her, right?
Well, what the police think happened is that she was either abducted, got in the car, however she ended up in that car, and they drove to the harbor. Nikolaj got out, didn't really have anything to do with it, and Thomas got in the back of the car and proceeded to sexually assault her. He took her shoes off, his DNA's on her laces, and probably took her clothes off and raped her. And she fought back as much as she could, and
passed away. Yeah.
Yep.
Piece of shit.
What a big ass piece of shit.
Well, her after it was 2 weeks later, they found her body.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
They found her body in front of a lighthouse that was kind of like the currents had taken her body, and she was naked. So they really couldn't confirm that she was raped or not, but she had damage to her neck. It looks like she had been strangled. The police thought that, she fought back. There was vomit present in the car that they believe that she did throw up at some point. It could have been a result of the strangling. It could have been a result of
I'm fucking scared as hell.
Drinking and just over too much alcohol, and your body saying, "Get this out of me," which we all know happens. Happened to me,
Fucking peach schnapps.
God damn it! Oh, fireball, get out of my body.
Yeah.
That was one of the things, is that those are all the questions that remain.
Sure.
I mean, Thomas is not talking, so it's like nobody's given us what happened.
No.
Yeah.
But what they end up doing is that they think that he had driven to this bridge in this 4 hours where his phone was shut off, that he'd driven to this bridge and taken her clothes off and dumped her over the. When they found her, they found water in her lungs.
Oh my God! So she was
alive.
alive.
Still alive.
Fucking
When she
asshole.
was put in the water.
God, what an asshole!
I
hate him. I
know.
I want. Ugh.
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Thomas is going to court for this thing. So he gets into court and he basically like, "Oh, I've got the drugs. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's me. I'm a drug dealer, but I didn't murder anybody." He'd basically said that after dropping his drunk friend off, he and 2 girls went and made out in the
he's
car.
A player.
He's a real winner.
Yeah,
He could easily do this.
Yep.
And he dropped the girls off in a roundabout after about an hour or so, and then slept the rest of the time in the car.
Yeah.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. Because the car odometer showed that he'd driven like a long ways. And he was seen at the time that he said he was sleeping, buying supplies and cleaning out the car.
Yep.
What
What a dumbass.
Yeah.
While the Benny Hill music plays faintly
Oh
in the
my
fucking background.
God. Yeah. Well, when he gets to court, though, his story changes. So now it's just one girl, it's Birna, who jumped into the car
with her cat-like reflexes that she obviously had.
The cat-like reflexes that
as
can't
he
hold
was
a hand and
driving
change.
by, she just grabbed the handle, opened the car door, and jumped in the car. It's like, hey, I'm
she
here.
Dukes a hazard her ass right
Let's
into that
have
car.
sex. Yeah, because that's so common.
You're so hot, Thomas.
Oh my God.
Yeah, please.
So
fuck off.
So he's like, oh, they had to stop the car so I could get out and pee. And then Nikolaj drove off with the girl and came back an hour later. And basically he's trying to pin it on Nikolaj now.
So he's like throwing his distant cousin under the bus.
Right. Well, it's obviously not true because they have all of this physical evidence or whatever that say that, they have camera footage of eyewitnesses. So he's guilty. He gets 19 years, which is, I guess, a big deal in that part of the country. But
that wouldn't.
recently, though, he appealed this decision, saying that the Currents had carried the body as far as the lighthouse and the mileage on the rental car. They just didn't add up. It did. It totally added up fine because on November 23rd of 2018, the appellate court held up his 19-year sentence.
Good.
Now, they also charged him with 28 million kronos, right? Which is like...
Kronos? Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Kronos?
ISK? Mm-hmm. That's that's $227,000 US in legal fees. Mm-hmm. And they gave $4 million, which is $32,000 to Bjørna's father, and $24,000 to Bjørna's mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's not likely he's ever going to be able to pay it, but...
Well, maybe if they sold the hash to, like, Amsterdam, they might...
Yeah.
There you go.
50.
I would assume. Although I don't think that drug dealers
I'm just saying, you could literally... The government of Iceland could sell the 50 pounds of hash to Amsterdam where they could use it. I mean, people are allowed to smoke that there, and then they could pay the parents back. What's the big deal there?
Yeah, there you go. Evidence.
Problem solved. Lisa's smart.
There's an interview with her mother kind of shortly after this, and they said, well, it's good that, there's justice. Do you have closure? And she's basically like, no, there's no fucking closure. My daughter's dead. This is a horrible thing that happened. What good possibly could have come from this?
Well, what good did come from this is that people have started to give rides to each other. They have like a Facebook page that they opened up. And it's called, what's it called? It's like Skootlarlar.
Which means?
Those who give people rides somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's like a buddy system to bring people home. And they actually, they have a unisex version, Facebook version, and then they have a female only version.
Right? And that's fantastic. And you say that would be discriminatory, but honestly, women get kidnapped and raped on a greatly larger scale than men do.
I don't think you don't really need to even defend that.
No, I don't.
Because if some fucking neckbeard comes in and says it's discrimination, then we'll just pull his fedora down over his head and punch his nads until he goes away.
that, my lady.
Yeah.
I think the only people who would like oppose the Skootlarlar women's version were those Bjorn Bjorksen from
Jordan Vandersloot?
Jordan Vandersloot.
That fucking guy.
That fucking asshole.
Oh man, is he dead yet? God,
wish.
he should be dead.
No, that motherfucker's married in a Paris prison.
That guy is literally the textbook definition of psychopath.
A piece
for sure.
of shit? Yeah. Okay, anyways.
Well, that's the story of how Iceland has changed. They have more CCTV cameras now. They don't actually, there's not the big rising up as there was before against that. So some freedoms that they had before, they don't necessarily have because of the, whole city of Reykjavik being watched now, even more so than it was before. This just happened last year. It's really changed this. It's really changed the country. It's changed the city, as it's just something that has really literally never happened there before. And honestly, her family doesn't really see any good that came out of this. That's basically the takeaway here. So, is there a better way I can put that to wrap the story up, guys?
No, that's basically, that's what it...
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
It shook the country. They made changes, and some of their freedoms have been lost due to it. And
And this is a really terrible story, but it did change Iceland, and it's a beautiful country, and it's a wonderful country, and I can't wait to be inside of that country someday. I'm just definitely gonna go.
I don't like that. That's how you say it.
I do, because I think it's gonna be a sexy trip. But you know, it's like there's no killer karaoke for this episode because it's no, I'm not doing that. Well, thanks for listening again this week to Yikes, Murder and Stuff. Please go to iTunes and rate us and review us if you like us. If you don't like us, please give us some feedback. Reach out to us and let us know what we can do to improve.
On our website, and then we'll fix it, and then we'll get a 5.
But through non-traditional channels.
So,
like, I'm going to use a wrestling term. Put yourselves over. I'm going to start. That's a wrestling term, by the way. You can find me on Twitter at Acadia, or on Instagram at Superficial Gallery, or I don't know, go to superficialgallery.com or whatever the hell you want. I'm usually available.
And you're on YouTube too, right?
Yep. Superficial Gallery on YouTube too. And I'm going to be unboxing my Loot Crate, but the scary horror version of Loot Crate on YouTube next. So that's kind of fun.
Awesome. Well, I don't have anything to plug really. I'm just, you know,
are you kidding me?
YikesMurderandStuff.com. I'm Jennifer Sandwich. You can find me on Twitter at, but Yikes Murder on Twitter, or Jennifer Sandwich, no I in the Jennifer. And Lisa Sweatshirt is, Sweatshirt Lisa.
But it's very important for people to rate us on iTunes. That's the big one. If you please go there and, leave a nice little message and rate us. And if you don't like us, you could leave a message on our website.
Yes, you can
and
call
contact us, and we'll be happy to change things.
Yeah, we'll make concessions. We do that. Yeah, we're
concession makers.
We're reasonable people, even though
I'm not. I was on.
Even though everyone is not. I'm the only one that seems to be. All right. Well.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.